Welcome to the business interview. I'm Markus Karlsson. Worries over emerging economies have gripped global markets in the past few weeks. Turkey has been at the center of that storm, with the Turkish lira dropping against the dollar. For years, Turkey was considered a star among emerging markets, but now there are warnings of a faltering economy and political turmoil. For more, we can turn to Wolfgango Piccoli. He's with us from London. He's managing director at the political risk consultancy firm Teneo Intelligence. He's also co-author of the book Turkey at the Crossroads, Ottoman Legacies and a Greater Middle East. Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Piccoli, for being with us today.
Pleasure.
Now, let's cut straight to the chase. Has Turkey, in your view, lost its image as a good investment destination?
Much damage has been done over the last, we'll say, 6 months or so, both in terms of economic policy making and in terms of political stability. On the other way around, generally speaking, financial investors, they have a short memory. The moment in which we see a change of sentiment in terms of emerging market, Turkey again would have a good opportunity to come back and shine. But this will take quite some time.
You say that much damage has been done. Whose fault is it?
Pretty much the fault lies with the government and those opposing the government, especially in terms of this power struggle that started in December between the government and the religious brotherhood. It got quite nasty with corruption scandal ensuing and potentially putting political stability at stake. So I think all parts here are at fault, and obviously the first one to pay the price was the Turkish currency. We have seen it basically suffering significantly from the beginning of the year, and now the next one to suffer will be the outlook for growth, because certainly growth in 2014 will be subdued.
I wanted to ask you about growth, so it's a good thing that you're bringing it up. What kind of a hit do you think that the wider Turkish economy will take this year? The government has said that it wants growth run about at 4%, but it's not likely to hit that level, is it?
No, I think the government can forget about that target right now, and already finance ministers hinted that they might have to revise this target. I think in the best case scenario, Turkey might grow by around 2%, 2.5 at the very best, no more than that, and the risk is certainly on the downside.
So the OECD is predicting a growth of 3.8%. Even that would be difficult for Turkey to achieve.
I suspect that the OECD estimate for growth was basically done before the current emerging market turmoil, before the hike of the Central Bank of Turkey a few weeks ago, and before the political turmoil started. So again, that kind of estimate now is passé, if I can put it that way.
There are concerns that emerging markets will take a hit as the Federal Reserve is unwinding or tapering its monetary stimulus. Do you think that Turkey is ready for it, if we talk about both politically as well as economically?
Well, politically, the problem for Turkey is that besides the corruption scandal, we have in front of us a very long electoral calendar, meaning that the government is not going to be in the position to deliver in terms of structural reforms, which could help to tackle the current emerging market sell-off. So that is for politics. As for the economics, no, the country is not ready. Is the emerging market with the largest current account deficit, low level of savings, and the central bank's independence is being questioned. So certainly here, Turkey is ill positioned to deal with the current emerging market sell-off.
You touched upon it a little bit there, but you've said that Turkey is on a negative trajectory when it comes to political stability. Could you talk us through what you mean by that exactly?
Well, in the sense that investors over the last 10 years or so, they got used to political stability. They took it for granted. It was one of the pillars of the Turkey positive economic story. Now we have a ruling party that has been engulfed in a major corruption scandal. The popularity will suffer. We have a local election at the end of March. We got the first presidential election by popular mandate sometime in August, and the parliamentary election in June 2015. So certainly here, in our view, the AK party will continue running the country, but not with the popularity and certainly not with the positive image that is enjoyed over the last 10 years or so.
Now, the political corruption scandal that you talked about there, it's already claimed some bigwigs. 3 ministers resigned at the end of December. Has it tarnished, and how badly has it tarnished the image of the Prime Minister Erdogan?
It's difficult to say. As it is now, it's impossible to take seriously any kind of opinion poll coming out from Turkey. It is clear that there has been a suffering in terms of popularity of both the Prime Minister and the ruling party. The advantage that the ruling party and Erdogan have is that the opposition remains still utterly hopeless. They have not been able to capitalize on the ongoing corruption scandal that the AK party is facing. So again, here, potentially, I think that the first test will be the local election the 30th of March. Just to give to your viewer a sense, anything above 40% of the votes will be still a good outcome for the AK party. If it goes below 40%, the alarm bell will basically start going off at the AK party HQ.
Now, for the first time in August this year, Turkish voters will be able to directly elect their president. What is the significance of that?
It is important for a couple of reasons. First of all, as you mentioned, it's the first time is by popular mandate. Secondly, we know that the leading candidate for the job is Prime Minister Erdogan. So basically, he will move from the Prime Minister to the presidency after basically running Turkey since 2013. And that would also mean a change of leadership at the top of the AK party. So there is lots of moving parts here, and that is why it makes this presidential election very important.
Now, Prime Minister Erdogan, he was seen to raise a warning finger, I suppose we can call it that, when the central bank hiked interest rates recently. What should we read into that? Is he undermining the central bank's independence? And who's calling the shots, so to speak, when we talk about monetary policy?
Well, Erdogan and a few other ministers have been always very critical about hiking interest rates. It's nothing new. They've been basically repeating this mantra for the past couple of years, and Erdogan still keeps repeating it nowadays. Who is calling the shot? I will say that is at best a 50-50 in the sense that the central bank is under significant pressure here to keep interest rate low. Erdogan is, as we mentioned, is facing a long electoral cycle. They need to keep the growth up. And therefore the pressure on the central bank will remain very, very high. And there is not much more that the government can do at this point to boost growth, apart from some fiscal stimulus. So again, I would say that it's 50-50 in terms of monetary policy at this stage.
We have heard some European concerns about where Turkey is heading. For instance, there's been concern about the government and the AKP party muzzling journalists, for instance. At the same time, of course, Turkey is negotiating to join the European Union. Do you think that Turkey is on track for EU membership?
No, Turkey has been off track now for 3 or 4 years, and for that we should blame both sides, both the European Union and these leading states like Germany and potentially even France, I will say, and the Turks. Are we expecting a rebound? Certainly not. The EU membership is not a priority any longer for the Turks, and on the European side, Germany, France, Italy, they are busy dealing with other issues like still the ongoing Eurozone crisis and so on. So if you take a sort of 2-3 years look, it's difficult to see how this relationship can improve again.
But when it comes to attracting foreign investors, Turkey has often touted its potential as a candidate to join the European Union. You're saying it's time to sort of take that off the table now?
I think as long as the negotiation keep going, Turkey can still play that kind of card. On the other way around, the Turks here, if you look over the last 5-6 years or so, they've been diversifying very significantly their export destination. Africa has become much more important. The Middle East has become much more important, to the extent that, for example, now Iraq is the second largest trading partner after Germany. So again, the Turks are not going to formally give up on this EU negotiation. They want to keep this process going, but certainly they're not going to do their own work to advance it. Also because, on the other way around, what the EU is not able to promise membership at this point.
All right. With that, we're going to have to wrap up this program. Volfango Piccoli from Teneo Intelligence. It has been a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us from London there. And to you at home, thank you for watching France 24. Do stay with us. We have more news coming your way.